The secret strategy to gaining hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram and making millions with it is your content. It's not your hashtag strategy. It's not the time of day that you post. It's not a shadow ban or reels. It's your content. So today I'm going to reveal to you the key to creating content that grows your audience like crazy and generates you a ton of customers. And this strategy is perfect for any business owners who are in the educational or service-based niches. Coaches, consultants, agencies, educators, creators, etc. This technique is the strategy behind my most viewed YouTube video, which got 131,000 views in 9 months organically. It's also the same technique behind my second highest earning YouTube video, which has made over $1,000 so far. It's also something that we've been doing for our clients for years and years, which has made them millions of dollars in sales for their businesses. And it's something you're gonna see me start to implement on my own Instagram at Josh Ryan as I start creating content. Now, not only does this allow you to grow way faster, but also generate a lot more customers and income. It's actually a lot less effort. It makes content creation more straightforward, less energy, and less time invested. Trust me, if you master this, the sky is the limit. Now, like I said before, this strategy is specific for coaches, consultants, agencies, experts, sort of anyone creating educational content. But if you're not in that category, I would still recommend watching this video because you're probably still going to get something out of it. Now, this strategy is actually something really simple, but a lot of people don't do it. What you want to do is you want to practice what you preach and then show your results. Now, this is similar to a term known as building in public, where you are building stuff and you are putting it into the public. Let me give you an example on this. Anyone can call themselves an Instagram expert or an Instagram coach and create a carousel or a reel about how to grow on Instagram. And then they can regurgitate the same information they found from blogs or maybe from watching my videos or a whole host of other sources, because there is a million pieces of content out there about it that anyone could go and get that and regurgitate some of those tips. But if you change that up to how I grew on Instagram, and then you give specific tips, examples, and case studies of how you grew your audience, what content you used, what hashtags you used, what strategies worked for you, all of a sudden it becomes so much more interesting and valuable and demonstrates that you actually know what you're talking about, which is one of the key things that is going to get people to engage with your content, to get something out of it, to follow you, and to potentially become a customer. And when you create content like this, it's really good for your business because you're showing people that you've generated results, which shows that you can probably generate other people results, whether you sell a course or whether you sell a service or whether you sell consulting. It shows that you've got a result that they want to achieve and they are much more likely to buy from you because they know you can do it, as opposed to the person who's just creating a piece of content which might have some good tips in it, sure, but doesn't really show what you know what you're talking about unless you've built a big audience on that account yourself. Now, you could also make case studies of your students or your clients, which is an even better representation that what you offer works and gets results, as well as bringing value to people. Like I said at the start of the video, my best performing video on YouTube is where I showed how a friend of mine, Aaron, went from 0 to 10,000 followers on Instagram in 10 days. That video blew up because it's much more interesting than how to grow on Instagram. I'm showing specific examples, specific case study, and specific strategies that he used to get results people are looking to achieve. And when they see that come up, it is more interesting. So more people click on it, which increases the click-through rate of that piece of content, which means YouTube or Instagram or any social media platform will push it out to more people. And because I'm showing you a specific example, it makes the content more engaging and entertaining, which means people are going to watch it for longer. And when people spend more time on the content, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Pinterest, whatever platform, they will push it out to more people because more time on the content equals more ads to display, equals better content, equals more reach. And at the same time, it means not only are you going to grow your audience, but you're going to grow your business because you'll be getting customers come to you from this content. So let's take a look at another example. Let's say you're a funnel builder and you help people create funnels for their businesses. If you're not sure what a funnel is, it's pretty much like a conversion optimized website where there is just one goal on the page. Give us your email address for this or purchase this product, etc. And there's a massive community around building these funnels. They're very, very effective. If you want to subscribe to my newsletter and see my funnel, you can go and do that down below. Back to the example though of a funnel builder that is trying to build their audience on YouTube and Instagram and social media in general. Instead of creating a video called how to build a profitable funnel, you could create a video of how this funnel made $1,893,021 in 30 days. Think about it. If those two videos came up in your suggested, you are always going to be clicking on that second one. It is so much more interesting. It is so much more captivating, and it shows to people that you actually know what you're talking about, which allows you to build your audience and generate more customers. Because if people trust that your information is good and that you are actually doing what you're talking about, you will build an audience faster and they'll be much more likely to pay you, which is much more compelling content in an offer than simply telling people different theories about funnels. And trust me, I know I've created theory-based videos. They can work, they can build your audience, but the videos of mine that have performed the best and the content of our clients on Instagram that has performed the best, both in growing an audience and generating customers, has actually been case studies or examples, or even just adding anecdotes to how-to videos. So you'll notice when I make a how-to video on Instagram growth, I'm not just sitting there saying, do this, do this, do this. I might say one strategy that worked well when I was building my account, which is now at 750,000 followers, is posting 3 times a day, and that helped us go from X growth to X growth. And then we used a hashtag strategy that helped us go from this to that, and it makes the content much more interesting than simply use these hashtags. Because nowadays there are literally millions of experts who don't know what they're talking about and who are just recycling the same content across all niches, from life coaches to Facebook ad agencies to Instagram experts, fitness trainers, and pretty much every niche. They simply regurgitate the same basic subpar information and sell a subpar service because they don't really know what they're up to. By simply creating content based on your experiences, it will set you apart from everyone else and allow you to build a massive audience. Many of you may follow a guy called Alex Hormozi, and I actually heard him talking about this idea recently, which somewhat inspired this video. He has exploded massively on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, every single social media platform by simply creating content based on his experiences. He talks about how he sold his business. He talks about how he built his sales team and gives real examples of what he did. He shows how he built his body to the size and the muscle that he's got now based on these diet strategies, and he shows just everything that he's done. Instead of just saying, hey, how to do this, and just sort of giving some random examples like literally thousands of other people on social media in the same niche, he's exploded because he's literally done it and he's creating content based around that. And think about it, this is what gains followers and customers. A strong hook at the start of a piece of content, like how this funnel made $2 million, or how I gained this client 1,000 new subscribers in 30 days, how this Facebook ad strategy doubled the profitability of this e-commerce store, will get a lot more people hooked into your content so that they stay on it for longer. And then the second part of this is because you're showing a real example, it's more valuable to these people, so they're more likely to spend more time on it and then follow you and watch future content of yours, which is going to push you in the algorithm because you've got more people clicking on the content, more people watching the first few seconds, and then more people watching the whole video till the end and consuming more of your content, which is simply going to build your audience. Then for monetization, by demonstrating that you've got results, it acts as social proof. Social proof increases the perception in the mind of the buyer as to the fact of if you can or cannot get them results. Because if they've seen 10 of your videos where you're showing how you helped people lose 10 kg in 10 weeks, for example, they have a high likelihood that they're going to be the 11th if they pay you. Whereas if they've just seen a few how-to videos, they're probably thinking like there's a 50-50 chance this works, maybe even less. But with all that social proof, you increase the perception in their minds that you will actually get them results, which means they're much more likely to buy. So by being a practitioner of what you actually teach, actively doing it, whether it be consulting students and then using those results, whether it be building your own YouTube channels if you're a YouTube automation expert and then sharing that knowledge on YouTube or Instagram or whatever platform you're building on to build your audience, or whether you're a Facebook ads agency that shares some of the strategies and the case studies that you're working on, it'll create much better content that's more interesting and gets more customers. Now, the reason that this takes so much less time, effort, and energy to create compared to normal content is you don't have to think up a whole pile of ideas. You don't have to think of 1,000,001 different searchable pieces of content. You can simply be working on your business, get a result, and then write that down as your title. how this client achieved this result, how this student achieved this result, how I did this. And then you have a few bullet points of how you did it, and then you simply turn on the camera and record based on your experience, or you jump into Canva and you create a carousel based on your experience. You don't have to script out long videos, you don't have to come up with perfect ideas, etc. Now, 4 to 5 years ago, you could create basic how-to content and do extremely well. And today, you still can too. It'll still work in certain situations, but if you're in a niche with a lot of other people who have already done that 4 or 5 years ago, then it's probably not going to work as well unless you go ultra niche on your content, which is probably something that's more relative to YouTube than Instagram, because you can create super specific searchable videos for YouTube, do really well. You can't really do that for Instagram. Now, the only downside to this strategy is if you don't know what you're talking about, you're not going to be able to create any content because you won't have built anything, you won't have done anything, you're just regurgitating stuff, and therefore you don't have anything to create from. But that's a good thing, because if you don't know what you're talking about, you don't have results, you don't have experience, you should focus on going out and actually doing that, and then teaching it, offering it as a service, etc. I hope this helps. I know it wasn't too tangible, but more of an idea of how to create a huge amount of really good content that people will enjoy and will get results. Now, if you need help implementing this and bringing it into your own Instagram and you want one-on-one help, you can apply for coaching. Currently, we've sold out, but we will be opening a handful of new spots in the future. So there's an application below. You can message me on Instagram at Josh Ryan to find out more. I'm also going to be posting a lot more content there in the coming months, so go follow me there. If you want more free step-by-step content, you can check out my free Skillshare classes down below, as well as all my other YouTube videos. That's it from me. Hope it helps. See you next time.